What's up, everyone? It's Ion Rogue with you again, and I've got another leveling video for you. This is starting to be about midway through the game, depending on where you judge the middle of the game. But this is in Rosaria, south of Martha's Rest. And it's about 500k per run. I've recorded 475, and I've also recorded 506k. So I think it really just depends on how many enemies you're able to tether into the same battle, and we'll look at some of those tactics. So the main thing, though, with how I'm doing this is I'm trying to ensure that as I approach each encounter, see, here we are, hold on, Hawk's Cry Cliff or whatever it is, right there. We're gonna recharge. We're just gonna make our way through to right there and then back to there. So as I was saying, as we approach each encounter, we're going to try to ensure that Odin's Zantetsuken ability is recharged before we go into the next encounter. Does that make sense? So, right here, I used Blind Justice, but before Blind Justice was finished, I hurried up and switched to Odin and started the Dancing Steel maneuver so that the bird couldn't move away from my blades and thus cancel out the Dancing Steel. So keep that in mind. Blind Justice can be used to kind of temporarily ensnare the enemy, hold them in a position for you so that you can whip out that Dancing Steel and get that Zantetsuken gauge up. Let's see. Oh, whoops. We were supposed to go around the rock, sorry. So this is where the first battle was. And then you come down here for the Bluebird. Should be able to get a full level 5 Zantetsuken before you approach this plateau. You're going to hit these bees with Blind Justice. And the reason why is because that's going to start them into the battle, stun them a little bit. But we're going to run all the way past this Death Blossom towards the chocobos up there on the hill. The bees are going to follow, and we're going to try to get all these enemies in that Zantetsuken blast. 34,000. Okay, that knocked all of them down. So then down here on the next plateau, you've got another group of chocobos. Hopefully you went up far enough to where you didn't kill these guys, because you're going to use them to recharge Zantetsuken. We're going to hit them with Blind Justice, and while that Blind Justice is suspending them, we're going to hurry and switch and use Dancing Steel before he has the opportunity to hop away. If he hops away before your blades can make contact with him, you'll have to wait for Dancing Steel to recharge. We've got Hornets. We're going to try... Those Hornets are supposed to be in the next battle, so I'm going to try to see if they'll go away. Which brings me to a good point that it's not always going to go the same way, but I think that's why I got a variation in the amount of experience points I actually ended up with. But there's no way for me to confirm that. But generally, this is how you're going to want to do it. Finish off these chocobos without using Odin's abilities. Shiva should work nicely. See, now we have a level 5 Zantetsuken. So we're going to go down to the next plateau where those killer bees were. We'll use just fire a shot at them to get them into the battle. They'll chase after us. We'll go over here by these Death Blossoms, and we'll actually try to hit those Chocobos as well. So we'll go about right here. Launch Zent and Zukin. $46K. Those Chocobos are down. Sometimes the blue Chocobo doesn't go down, so you can just use him to recharge. There's little variations, but my guess is those little variations that you'll encounter are probably what changes the amount of experience. If you have the Heavens and Fortune, if you equip both the leveled up Heavens and Fortune and the one that you brought over from your previous save, this is Final Fantasy mode, then I think it's like 40% to your it's like 35 to 40% added experience. So I've got both of those equipped. I think it's 35, and then if you pre-ordered the game, there's another trinket you can equip. There's like 3 of them in total. I think it bumps you up another 10 or 15. So you're like at 45 or 50. I can't remember what the numbers are. But having those equipped while you're leveling up definitely helps. I was going to try to get up to a level 75 before I continued with the story, but I'm glad I didn't, because these level 62 enemies are kicking out a whole lot more than where I was before. This guy, so there, you'll notice that he's right by a cliff. I'm going to try to stagger him right by that cliff. As you can see, there's some enemies below the cliff that will be taken out by Zent and Zukin while I'm attacking his staggered bodies. So see right here, we're by the cliff, throwing out Judgment Bolt, Diamond Dust, Mesmerize, and then Zent and Zukin should be able to hear those enemies die. They're off the cliff on a plateau down there. So try to stagger him by the cliff edge as close as you can get. That'll basically tether some more enemies into the battle and increase the amount of experience points you get for this battle. Now all we got to do is use Heaven's Cloud, bump that back up to 5. Alright, 37. So, here we are. The enemies were just off this plateau here. Down there. Usually they're right here. The game must have already absorbed their bodies or something. So we're going to skip those spiders off to the left there, because we're going to use them to recharge Odin's ability. We're going to run past the Death Blossoms and launch Zent and Zukin right next to these Chocobos, bringing all of them down. 29k. Sorry. Excuse me. And then we're going to go back to those spiders we saw. Use them to refurbish the Zent and Zukin ability. Hit them with Blind Justice so that they're stunned. And here's the thing. If you can hit more than one enemy with Dancing Steel, it will recharge faster because it's by the hit. So here comes this other spider. I'm now hitting 2 spiders. And as you can see, the gauge is going up quicker. It's by the hit. if you've got more than one enemy in your range of terror, then you won't have to use Heaven's Cloud to top it off. Okay, 23k. Way better numbers than my previous early game experience videos that I have, but those were useful when, you know, we were between 50 and 60. Okay, so we're gonna get those spiders into the battle, run past the death blooms, then there's another wyvern right here. We're gonna shoot at him to get him into the battle, knock everybody else out. Now it's just us and the dragon. Switch to Shiva, frost him, use Dancing Steel. And then back to Shiva and bust out of the way. He's got some quick attacks, so if you do linger after that frost, he will hit you. Then switch to using Blind Justice for chipping off the rest of his stagger bar. And we'll try to use the last bit of his health to recharge Zantetsuken for the next group of enemies. You might have to hold off as you get stronger. You may have to hold off if you want. I mean, if I would have hit him with Mesmerize again, he'd probably be dead, and I wouldn't be doing this. Even if you kill him within the first couple of slashes, the game kind of pauses everything as you're doing this. So it'll still get you up to a level 3, even if you kill him with the first few hits. It kind of holds his corpse there in suspended animation for a minute while you finish out the attack. So we're going to use this group to get it back up to a level 5. Because we're still only in level 3. Stun them. Death Bloom. Heaven's Cloud. There we go. And then we can use it to take them out. Because there's another group of enemies we can recharge Zantetsuken with, right by that tree. Almost done. When you get this down, you can easily do this in under half an hour. You could easily be getting like almost 1 million an hour in experience points. Early mid-level game. If you're up to about 73 where I am right now, you should be sitting at like, I don't know, 7 million for the next level up. It just gets ridiculous. So it'd be about 7 hours. If you're looking at 7 million till your next level, 7 hours of this would get you through 7 million. I will be posting other leveling spots as I come across them. This is just where I'm at in Final Fantasy mode right now. I'm almost to a level 75. And once I get to 75, I'll proceed with the game. I just figured my strategy is if I'm halfway to, I finished my original playthrough at 50 experience, the cap for a normal game playthrough, 50, level 50. So I figure if I get to 75 as early as possible,
Time to fight.
then I should be able to cut down on the amount of experience grinding I have to do, because I'll be able to just gain levels as I play through the story. Not sure if it'll work out exactly the way I'm thinking, but if it works out at least to some degree in that direction, then it will have been worth it to try this out. I'm willing to bet, and I'm not sure exactly, but the next area of the story is probably gonna, this area of the story, the enemies are 62, so I'm willing to bet it's probably gonna jump up a bit. 70 maybe. So I should be able to finish up the next area without too much trouble, and then do a little more grinding. See how it goes. So here again, we're gonna stagger this guy. Maybe not use our full arsenal of Ramuh and Shiva. There's Mesmerize. There's Judgment Bolt. Let's see how far. Diamond Dust. Use Mesmerize again. Should have some health left. Immediately go for the recharge with Dancing Steel. And then back off before he gets up. Refrost, Heaven's Cloud, level 5.
Help me, boy.
Okay, so the next group of enemies you're going to encounter up in this canyon are 2 fire bombs. Right there. I recommend that you wait for Diamond Dust to charge back. As soon as you get into the middle of the arena, see if we can get them closer together before we introduce ourselves. See, they're kind of far apart. The other one's around that corner. There we go. Launch Diamond Dust on them if you can. Hit them with Zantetsuken. It might kill them. If it doesn't, use them to recharge Zantetsuken. Okay, hit them with Zantetsuken. See if it takes them out. Might take one out, might leave the other. Oh, yep. Let's see. You could use him to recharge. I've done it before. But if not, there's another opportunity to recharge right here. This guy. Some more enemies are going to spawn. Try and Dancing Steel him off over here to the left, so that when you do use Zantetsuken, you're not obliterating the next group of enemies that you would need to recharge it. It's like some spiders like this guy. Robot spiders. Yeah, busted out right here. Got the bomb. I don't have Dancing Steel available, so I'll just take him out. The spiders are right up here. Hit one bug, wake the other two up. Dancing Steel should be ready for you. Stun him again if you want. Level 5. Hit this guy with Blind Justice, then run up past him while that's going off, wake up the Deathlooms, hit them all with Santetsuken to knock those two out, and then it'll be just you and the red mouse mouse, whatever it is. Blob. Rebuild. Santetsuken gauge. As you frost him. Oops. I didn't mean to do that, but oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's alright. So I'm going to let Judgment Bolt recharge. See how long it takes. I doubt that we really need to, but just curious as to how long it'll take. About 4 rotations, roughly. Maybe 5. There we go. Staggered, mesmerized, Judgment Bolt, skip, Diamond Dust, hit him, use the last of his health to recharge. It's all about killing him. Use that diamond dust we skipped. Alright, and then the last group of enemies before you fast travel back is up here. You're just going to bust out. They're right here. Just run right into the middle, and then you can fast travel back. Just run right into the middle of this area and pull Zantetsuken. Right here. And there you go. There's the last enemies. Hope this helps you guys out that are interested in playing and beating the game on Final Fantasy mode. Thanks for watching, and Ion Rogue out.